So in last video we are done with the hydrophytes. If I just give an overview, hydro means water, phytes means plant. So plants where they have a good amount of water and a lot of properties, a lot of things were discussed in last video. Today we are going about halophytes. So I'm sure you would have watched that video. If not, I would suggest you to watch that first. So we'll go with the halophytes today. Halo means salt, phytes means plant. So what you'll see, this is quite nice topic. The plants which are growing in the salty areas, salt marshes, and these all. This means they live near the sea level, near where there are seas. So that's why their concentration of salt is quite more. So they need water, but they need water. Water is quite low, but the salt is very high. But still they need to manage everything because we are discussing osmotic regulation and homeostasis, and these all already mean that how to balance even if the external environment change, how they maintain. So they live in the sea areas. These plants are known as halophytes, as mentioned. Halophytes. So some of the example of halophytes could be glasswort or cordgrass. So I'm sure it's clear to you. Then they have to absorb water. What they will do, they have to absorb water from where? From soil, because they need water. So when they'll get water, they will try to absorb it, store it in a root. So water will be taken from the soil, which has a higher salt concentration. This have a higher salt concentration because they are living near the sea level, so that's why the salt concentration would be quite more. So they have lower water potential, and indirectly that also means that they have higher osmotic pressure because they are directly proportional. And what comes next, you will see halophytes have roots which are developed, like they needs root. In hydrophytes they were poorly developed roots, but here is a good cope up with the situation. They need to have roots which are developed and nicely, so that they brings water, so that if they'll have a good roots, then they will try to absorb water in the soil. So this means they are going to manage everything by the process of osmosis. They'll bring water from higher concentration to lower concentration, because they'll have high solute but the lower solvent, right? So that's why they'll manage by osmosis, because osmosis is simply the not movement but taking from higher concentration to lower concentration. That simply means osmosis. So excessive salt can be stored in cells, and yes, if they have a good amount of salts, what they'll do, the salt would be kind of not absorbed, but they would save in the cells, and then they will excrete out from the cell. Why? They'll excrete out from the cell glands on the leaf, because so that some species can trap water vapors, and then so that they can directly take it water from the soil. And or if they'll have good amount of salt, so they will become turgid and flaccid like a structure, so they don't usually want like that. So salt would be high, it will be provided to cells, and from cells it will be excreted out to trap water. Otherwise their body will fill up with the salt, right? So they need to manage everything. So they will go with the water, they need to have water and additional water from the air. There's a lot of other things they need to maintain. So I'm sure it's clear to you. We only have this much information about halophytes, and these are the plants. You can see these are quite near the sea level. You can see there the sea, and here's the sea, and you see these plants are quite random. I'm sure it's clear to you. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.